So there's this belief floating around that if you didn't go to a target university, then you can basically forget about ever landing a high-paying professional services job. And the worst part, right, is that the advice that people give you is quietly making it worse. Because here's what actually happens, right? Let's say you apply for a job and let's say you get rejected. But you get zero feedback because most firms, most consulting firms at least, will not tell you why you got rejected if you got rejected at the CV screening stage. So the pressure builds up and you start doing what feels like the right thing. You might do a master's degree, you might do 10 plus case competitions, you might even do that unpaid internship to build up your experience section. And then you apply again and you don't get in and you get rejected at the CV stage again. So none of it actually moved the needle. And slowly your confidence kind of just drains out of you. And I've watched hundreds of students go through this exact spiral, including myself. And if that sounds painfully familiar, if you've been through the optimistic version of you, the pessimistic side, as well as the so-called realistic advice and still got nowhere, well, then stay with me because this video is going to be for you. As by the end of this video, you will understand the 3 hidden stages that every single CV goes through in an application process, at least for consulting firms. And I'll tell you my way of doing this as well, a slightly more methodical, more surgical, and a slightly less exhausting way of going through the application stages. And I'll also show you exactly how one of my students, let's call him Max for example, had gone through from a non-target university to landing one of the top firm offers in the end. For those of you who are new here, hi, my name is Jack and I'm a former Bain consultant with over 5 years of consulting experience. And I've personally coached over hundreds of students. I've sat on the other side of the table at Bain as well, having interviewed more than 50 plus students. So I understand from both sides of the table how it works. And now I run Case Buddy, which is my one-on-one mentorship program that helps you break into consulting firms, as well as a self-learning platform that you guys can get access to it for free. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to check it out. With that being said, let's actually now get into why you're here today. So from my perspective, most of the career advice out there, including the advice that I give, fall into one of 3 buckets, right? Number one, the first one is the one that tells you to just be the best candidate. They'll tell you, okay, just get a first class honors, right? Do those top level internships, build the extracurriculars and leadership until they somehow cancel out your weaknesses. And then the other side of thing is more of an extreme pessimist one. They say, oh, you just need to give up because you go to a non-target university, you barely have any experiences, right? You're not realistically gonna stand any chance at a consulting firm, so just look for something else. And then the third one is the more realistic version, which I guess I kind of fit into this bucket, right? And this does sound the wisest in paper because it says, look, your chances are going to be slim, but if you just work hard enough, you might just be able to sneak in and get in. You know, it's a balanced view. It's not too hopeful, not too brutal. And a lot of the candidates actually fall for this kind of advice. And the problem though is that whilst all of these 3 advice can work on certain type of candidates, the issue is that after coaching hundreds of students, the common pattern that I see is that if you follow these advice just blindly without knowing where you're getting it wrong, then all of these 3 can turn into a losing strategy. And honestly, the third one is the most dangerous one because it just feels about right? It feels mature, it feels realistic. So people or candidates latch onto this and they think, okay, if I just put my heads down and I grind hard and work hard, then I might be able to make it through. But the truth is, if you work hard on the completely wrong things, it's actually not going to change anything for you. So if that's been your experience, the grind, the slim chance mindset, or let's say even the pessimistic version of you, I just want to tell you that it's not because you didn't try hard enough. You probably have tried hard enough and you probably are smart enough. The actual problem is that you didn't quite understand how the system works in a consulting firm, and so you don't know where your application failed. So let's fix that in this video, right? And I'll just tell you now the 3 stages that your CV will go through as soon as you hit submit. Now, stage 1 is the online application submission, right? This is the form, the screening questions, the box ticking. And most people think, oh, this is where the ATS, the automated system, kind of filters me out. That's probably where I got rejected, right? But actually, no, not for top consulting firms. This is not where majority of the candidates get rejected. It's actually in stage 2, which is what we call the recruiter scan. Now, this is where recruiters or someone from the HR team at a consulting company might review hundreds of CVs a day, spending 30 to 60 seconds on each CV. They'll do a quick glance, maybe 15 seconds, 20, 30 seconds, and they're not actually reading through all of your CV. They're just scanning for, let's say, reasons to move you forward to the next stage. And the next stage, if you ask what that is the final stage of your CV review process, which is the peer-to-peer deep review session. Now, this is where an actual consultant paired up comes in and reviews your CV against a predetermined set of criteria. They'll score your CV on education, experiences, skills, interests, extracurriculars, leadership, blah, blah, blah. And they will assign a point to your CV and maybe say, okay, yes, the CV passes, and no, the CV doesn't pass. And now this is actually the stage that decides whether or not you are going to get an interview, along with obviously your online test scores. And the reason why understanding this matters so much is because if you think about it, 95% of candidates get rejected at the CV stage, right? So you need to have an understanding of which part of this three-phase process is your CV getting rejected at, because if your CV is getting rejected on stage 2, then you might require a complete different strategy to if your CV is getting rejected on stage 3. And honestly, I have so many candidates that come to me and say, hey Jack, I've been practicing case interview math, drills, structuring, fit interview prep, blah, 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 but ultimately I'm not getting past any of the CV stage, so all that prep has been quite useless. And frankly, it will be and it can be. If you just don't pass the CV screening stages, then all that prep you put into mastering the case studies really not going to help you. Let's say, especially if you're a non-target, or let's say you're an international student like myself, well, the CV rejection part is where it feels the heaviest, right? Because you kind of blame it on yourself. Well, at least I did. I blamed it on myself, or external factors, right? For example, if you're an international student, you might say, oh, it's because people are not sponsoring visas, or they might prefer a British candidate over me. That's why they're not hiring me. That's why they're not passing my CV, because I checked I need a visa on my application. And then the self-doubt creeps in, and then the self-esteem goes, and you cling on to this final bit of hope that, oh, if I just do one more thing, right, it's gonna change everything. Like one more internship, one more master's, that's gonna flip the switch. And the truth is, guys, it won't. It won't, it really won't. And not because you can't get in, but because you're focusing on the wrong things. So let me actually now walk you through one of the students that I coach. Let's say his name is Max for anonymous purposes, right? So Max went to a complete non-target university. And I mean, complete non-target in the sense of no one really has broken into a top consulting firm or a consulting firm from his university before. And he was basically making every single mistake that we were just talking about earlier on this video, right? But when we actually broke it down, his problems clustered into 3 main things. And critically, all of this was before he had even reached the interview stage. Now, the first mistake was that he didn't understand how the CV review process worked, right? He had no idea what actually scores points at a deep review stage, right? So he was writing a CV that looked fine to him, but was actually getting binned in the skim or scoring low in the deep review process, and he couldn't see why. The second thing is that he built his CV with ChatGPT or other AI tools. He basically let AI write and format the entire thing. And look, I know it's easy, but it produces a very generic flat CV that says nothing specific about the firm, and it kind of strips out exactly the detail that scores points. And like a lot of the times when students send me their AI generated CV, I can immediately tell that this was probably AI generated, given how generic your bullet points sound. And then 3, he was making these small formatting mistakes that actually was taking away points, especially at the recruiter screening rounds. And these are the things like spacing, structure, layout, the little things that quietly drag your score down. Or let's say if a recruiter was scanning through it and the formatting was everywhere, then it signals that you don't even have attention to detail. So immediately they're not gonna move your CV forward. And by the way, if you wanna fix these formatting mistakes, well, on our Case Buddy platform, we have a free CV analyzer that you can try out for free. Just upload your CV, answer a few questions, and it'll tell you what score your CV might get, as well as some of the formatting and actual bullet points that you need to fix right now. But coming back to his story, based on his mistakes that we identified, here's what we actually did to fix all of this. The first thing we did was we mapped his journey to date. We said, look, let's have an overview of all the consulting firms that you applied for so far and how many rejections you got, and a detailed review as well of his CV to figure out which of the 3 stages his CV was most likely getting eliminated at and why. And once we understood, oh, okay, it's probably the 2nd or the 3rd stage, it kind of changed everything, because now we knew what things we need to focus on. And then following up on that, we did an in-depth interview session, right? Just me and him, just digging into his real experiences and real internship as well. And this is the part that surprised me, because he was sitting on genuinely strong materials from his internships that he completely left out on his CV because he thought that it was irrelevant, or he thought that, oh, it wasn't as important as the other bullet points that he had put on his CV. So he actually had the points the entire time, but he just wasn't showcasing it in his CV because, again, he wasn't really understanding how his CV was getting graded in top firms. So we basically helped him rewrite his CV based on what actually scores well, right? And ultimately, he was able to pass CV screening rounds at top consulting firms, the same stage that he had been quietly getting dumped at every single time. and eventually landed an offer. So overall, guys, the takeaway is relatively simple, right? The reason that all of these advice on optimistic, pessimistic, or realistic approach fails is because it skips the diagnosis of the process. They all kind of just tell you to push harder and do better, without actually going into the details of where you're missing out on and where you need to push harder. On the contrary, our way is kind of opposite, right? We find the exact stage that your CV might be failing at, we fix that one thing, we iterate, we move on, and it takes way less out of you than just blindly guessing through or grinding through another year or two of case competitions and another master's degree, hoping that something sticks out. So ultimately, guys, you don't need to be the perfect candidate. You don't need a target university degree for sure, although obviously it does help. You just need to stop treating the wrong problem when it comes to consulting applications. So now you know the 3 stages that your CV goes through that no one talks about, and you know the spiral that keeps people stuck, and now you've seen how Max was able to break out of that routine and spiral to eventually land an offer. Now, if you do want personalized support from myself and the Case Buddy team, well, there's a link in the description below where you can sign up to our one-on-one mentorship program. And also, guys, if you are interested in learning more about the actual scoring system that consulting firms might use, as well as the details on consulting, recruitment system, and some tips and tricks on actually breaking into consulting, I'm hosting a webinar on 25th of July and 26th of July. It's completely free for anyone to sign up, so I'll leave a link on that as well in the description section below, so feel free to sign up. There's going to be a lot of freebies as well that I will be giving out, including access to our platform for free. And last but not least, I would love to hear from you guys, so drop a comment below saying, were you the optimistic type, were you the pessimistic type, or the realistic type? Like, what kind of advice did you get when you were applying to consulting firms? What kind of advice stuck with you? I genuinely read every single one, and I would love to hear from you guys. And with that being said, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you in the next video.